So the Spider-Man No Way Home tickets went on sale yesterday and all the websites crashed. We all know the story. The sales for these tickets must have been absolutely crazy for every single ticket selling website to crash. But all those events yesterday spawned some very interesting leaks and reports and things coming straight out of the mouth of Amy Pascal, saying some very interesting things about Spider-Man's future in the MCU and also outside of the MCU. Let's check it out. If you enjoy Spider-Man news, if you enjoy pop culture news in general, I try to cover it and post multiple videos a day on this channel, so hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more news just like this. Let's get into the video. So like I said, the tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home went on sale yesterday, and it caused so many websites to crash. But I think that Sony and Marvel, or Sony and Disney, are looking at this, are looking at all of these events happening where it caused all the ticket sale websites to crash, and they're very happy about that. I think that's a very good sign for them. Like this article right here says, Spider-Man No Way Home ticket demand crashed box office sites, and that's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing, and I think it caused Amy Pascal to come out and say some things today that she didn't really want to say, and some things that I'm sure Kevin Feige didn't want her to say either. We're going to check that out in 1 second, but first I want to talk about the ticket sales stuff a little bit. I think that it's kind of embarrassing for these ticket selling websites that they're not prepared for stuff like this after, you know, the stuff that happened with Endgame and Infinity War. We had small crashes here and there, but nothing like this. You know, it wasn't this bad where people just could not get tickets on any of the websites for hours and hours and hours. There were some people waiting on these websites for 4 and 5 hours to try to get these tickets, and by the time that they got in, by the time that they were able to actually purchase the tickets, all the good seats were sold out, or all the seats in general were sold out, and they have to, you know, buy tickets for 3 days past where they actually wanted to see the movie. They have to buy tickets for December 20th, and instead of seeing the movie on opening day on December 16th like everyone wanted to. It's just not fair. All these fans just wanted a good experience. They wanted to just buy tickets to go see Spider-Man on opening day, and they weren't allowed to because of this embarrassing mistake by all of these box office websites. It just doesn't make sense how they're still not prepared for this stuff. I don't get it. And also, if Spider-Man No Way Home somehow ends up being a bad movie, if we look back and it's not a good movie in a few years, we're going to look back on yesterday as a day of infamy. We're going to look back and laugh at that day. Like, I can't believe we were that stupid to all wait 4 and 5 hours to purchase tickets for this movie that absolutely was garbage. That would be pretty funny, but also I really hope that doesn't happen because I'm really rooting for this movie to do really well. I want yesterday to be looked back on as a fond memory of us staying up all night to try to get Spider-Man No Way Home tickets, and then we go see the movie and it's absolutely worth it. That's what I want. I want to see some crazy stuff from Tobey and Andrew. I want to see Tom Holland, you know, have his movie instead of being Iron Man Jr. for once. I want him to be a true Spider-Man, and I think that we're actually going to get that. But the most important part of this video, the most interesting part of this video, is these quotes right here in this article from The Hollywood Reporter. Marvel and Sony planning more Spider-Man beyond No Way Home, says producer Amy Pascal. Pascal says the studio is looking at a new trilogy, though insiders say no plans are official. Now, it says that she's looking at a new trilogy, but nowhere in this headline does it say that the new trilogy will be in the MCU. And I think that it's very interesting to think about that whenever you look at the quote from Amy Pascal directly. Let's check that quote out. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is staying put in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, according to producer Amy Pascal. That's not really exactly what she said, but I guess you can say that from what she said as well. It's just very confusing. This whole situation is very confusing, but I think the key to what's going on here might be from a Kevin Feige quote in the past, which I'll show you in 1 second after we read this Amy Pascal quote. Studios are weeks away from unveiling Spider-Man No Way Home, the latest co-production between the two studios. Pascal says there are more plans for Holland, Sony, and the Kevin Feige-run Marvel to collaborate. This is the quote from Amy Pascal. This is not the last movie that we're going to make Marvel with. This is not the last Spider-Man movie, Pascal said in an interview with Fandango published Monday. We are getting ready to make the next Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Marvel. We're thinking of this as 3 films, and now we're going on to the next 3. This is not the last of our MCU movies. But what they didn't put in here is she had a part in that quote where she stuttered. And right after she says we're thinking of this as 3 films, she says, and not a part of ... or something along those lines. She says, but it's just not a part of ... And then she cuts herself off because she knew that she was about to say something that she shouldn't say, something that Kevin Feige wouldn't like her to say. What if she was about to say, just not a part of the MCU? That would change everyone's outlook on this news. That would change everyone's outlook on this quote. And for some reason, The Hollywood Reporter left that part out. I guess it's because she didn't finish her sentence, so maybe they just didn't want to put it in there because she obviously didn't want it in there, and it would make Feige mad. It would cause the fans to be pretty mad. It would be bad publicity leading up to this movie, this huge movie, one of the biggest movies of all time, probably the most hyped up movie of all time, if it was revealed that Amy Pascal said that Spider-Man wasn't going to be in the MCU in the future. What I think is going to happen, and like I said, I think an old Kevin Feige quote holds the key to what's truly going on here. Kevin Feige once said that Spider-Man is going to be the only superhero or the only Marvel character that can swap between cinematic universes. And everyone was really confused whenever he said that. Like, what does that mean? We didn't really understand, because at that time, Spider-Man had just entered the MCU, or at least was just getting established in the MCU, and we didn't really understand why he would swap over to different cinematic universes at the time. But now it all makes sense, because Sony and Marvel are kind of playing tug of war with the Spider-Man character right now. But maybe they just came to an agreement. They were like, you know what? We can all make money and we don't have to fight. We can all make money together if we just have Sony and Marvel both own Spider-Man, and Spider-Man hop between the MCU and the Sony universe. I think that would make the most sense for everyone. Everyone would make tons of money if that was the case, because then you could have Spider-Man growing over the MCU, grow the fan base over in the MCU, also grow the fan base over in the Sony universe, and then possibly whenever these three movies, whenever this next trilogy is over, maybe even conclude that next trilogy with another huge crossover event where you have the Sony universe crossing over with Marvel once again, have all the Sony villains, or maybe even some Sony heroes that Spider-Man teams up with in the Sony universe, cross over with the Spider-Man MCU heroes and villains, and we can have like a Spider-Man universe Avengers type movie, but only from characters from the Spider-Man universe. It could be really cool. This might actually be the best case scenario for Spider-Man fans. This might actually be the best case scenario for everyone involved: Tom Holland, Sony, Marvel, and like I said, the fans. This might be the best case scenario. I think that no matter what else she would have said, if that is the case, then I think that is the best case scenario for everyone involved, and I think everyone should be extremely excited for that news if that is the case, and I truly think it is. Let's read on with this article. No Way Home debuts December 17th and follows Homecoming and Far From Home, which earned $1.1 billion worldwide and stands as Sony's highest grossing film ever. Now, that's an interesting question. Let me know in the comments what you think this movie is going to make, because at first I thought, yeah, it's going to cross $1 billion. It's going to be the first movie ever since the Pandy to cross $1 billion. But now that I'm looking at these ticket sales and how it crashed all the ticket websites, Spider-Man No Way Home literally broke the internet last night, and it's not even a figurative way. It actually broke the internet. It broke multiple websites, multiple apps, from the ticket sales, from the volume of ticket sales, from the volume of people that were trying to buy Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. So to say that it's only going to cross $1 billion, I think is pretty naive. A lot of people out there are still saying that it's just going to cross $1 billion, maybe 1.3 at its peak. But I'm thinking that this is going to be closer towards $2 billion, and I don't really think it's questionable that it's going to make above $1.7 billion. I think that if it doesn't make $1.7 billion, then something went extremely wrong. The movie didn't have legs, the movie was bad, the word of mouth was bad for the movie, something went extremely wrong. And I think if the movie is really good, if Toby and Andrew have a lot of screen time and they do really cool stuff that people can talk about when they go back to school, when they go back to work, whatever it is, if people are talking about this movie and talking about big events that happen within the movie, I think it can make $2 billion pretty easily, because Endgame made what, $3.2 billion, something crazy like that. And I know it's a different time period from when Endgame came out, but the ticket sales say differently. The ticket sales are saying this movie is going to make crazy amounts of money. Like I said, let me know what you think about all this news about Spider-Man getting 3 more movies, possibly in the MCU, possibly not. Let me know what you think Spider-Man No Way Home will end up making at the box office. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you in the next one.